In 1974, Dutch jazz rockers the Chris Hinze Combination released their sixth album, Sister Slick, and from it, the track Skyrider. Indicates it's going to be like a tender ballad of sorts, but it's not going to be. It starts off like a singer-songwriter piece. Almost sounds like it's like the beginning of a Billy Joel song from the period. And that kind of luminous synth sustain that's creeping up in the background is now indicating it's going to be something quite different. That inspiration, I wonder if this is supposed to represent taking flight. Hear that wheezy sound in the background a minute ago? Okay, what did I tell you? Now we have that thematic element that takes flight with multi-reedist Chris Hinze on flute, and then we keep on like going into these like glissando harmonic fall downs. These like these ascents that these descents that just like go right into this pit, right into this. A very kind of RTF motif right there. Okay, aside from Chris Hinze, I think that the main star of this so far is the drummer, and drums on this are played by Gerry Brown. Of the duo John Lee and Gerry Brown, and also spent time in the George Gruntz Concert Jazz Band and numerous other projects. Joachim Kohn, yeah. Okay, I really like that bass too. Really trebly, thick slabs. John Lee, Gerry Brown's partner. It specifies Fender electric bass on here, so I guess that's something to think about whenever I hear that trebly, thick type sound. Up until now, whenever I hear like a trebly, thick frontal bass, the first thing I think about is a Rickenbacker because of Chris Squire or John Entwistle, but... Okay, now we're basically a rock trio of just bass guitar and lyrical lead. Yeah, that bass is really dueling out with the guitar. And then we just got some sustain on the keyboard. Okay, Okay, yeah, this is basically John Lee, Gerry Brown, and on guitar we have. I'll get to that. I think we have Siggy Schwab. Yeah, they say guest before they listen. Discogs and the way they line things up here. Guest guitar, electric guitar, 12-string guitar, Siggy Schwab. Yeah, I recognize that name. Got an album of his. And he was in. He was in. I think. I'll get back to you on that. I was going to say he was involved. I think he was in Association PC, or at least played with them. But he does. Let's see. He's listed on the Sincerely PT record from 1973. He's on the Charlie Antolini record In the Groove, which I did something from about a month ago. He's on Embryo's Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Did something from that several months ago. I think no, I did something from their other 1972 album. Yeah, and he was on that Utopia side project of Amandul 2, Rhythm Combination and Brass. Oh, and he's also on Embryo's Rock Session. Huh, I don't see Association PC in this whole list of credits. Quite a bit of keyboard, actually, all subtle, kind of low in the mix, but I'm also hearing some Fender kind of in my right channel. Now, the way that bass just keeps throbbing up with those fast fluid notes as the guitar is just scaling around it, and the drummer keeps doubling up on. You can tell Lee and Brown are always pulling through for one another. I like the thick tone the guitarist is suddenly throwing in there on those bends, does making it a little bit more intense. When it lands on those reps, those landing keys, and that's those moments where the thematic element reemerges with Chris Hinze taking center stage. And they're kind of like taking the theme and spinning it, like they keep on throwing into those descents, and it lands on a different chord, and then again, and then it lands somewhere else. And I like how that keyboard, that really luminous keyboard sound, is swelling up right here. What is that sound exactly? I think of like the one of the middle parts of Just the Same by Gentle Giant. Same sound. Like F right there. Fender piano, anyways, played by Rob Van der Broeck. And let's see, guest. There's got to be another keyboardist on here than that. I'm hearing. Let's just say I'm hearing more than just Fender. Rhodes. And Rob Van den Broek was on that 1972 Banton album. Yeah, another like jazz rock one-off from the time period. And he was in Third Eye and Free Fare. Yeah, I did Free Fare a few months ago. that bass is getting thicker and thicker and more gruff, almost like it's trying to replicate a rhythm guitar, like low chords. You got that steamy sound, that steamy sustain amid the blockier chords in the keyboard. I love the random nature of this section. You've got those steamy sounds, you've got those kind of boiling sound, that distorted sound that kind of like rises up here and there. It's almost like sparks in a fire. This is supposed to conjure up some scene in Skyflight, but the vibe I'm getting from this section and the overall feel and rhythm of it all, it's more like an urban, kind of a gritty side of town scenario. Like a fire in an alleyway on a cold, dark night. This could be like New York in the 1970s on some random night with all that chaos of, and eerie, foreboding, alleyway vibe of the night. Flying is never this slow. Take apart all the sounds. There's just so much going on here. It's so abstract at this point. It's like funky, yet it's also kind of just verging on avant-garde. Like Hinze is just kind of like leaping about. We've got that bass that's withholding certain notes and emphasizing certain others. We've got that guitar that's just kind of slashing in here and there with that sort of buzzing sound. And the drum is just putting a clamp on everything. The bass is like filling up so much sound. He's like sliding 1 second and putting these real tight notes the next. It almost feels like there's two bassists. I guess this sounds like more like In Flight. This being more the RTF type section. I love the way they just keep on throwing it into chaos like this. Now there's some real staccato, interplay that we haven't heard yet. Yeah, it's like momentarily come together for some cohesive ensemblic interplay, then, throw it down, you know, like a water slide. You know, watch it roll, watch it tumble, watch it spin, and then see where it lands, and then, you know, put the melody back together, and then throw it down once again, see where it'll land. Yeah, that's the Chris Hinze combination with Skyrider from their 1974 album. Uh, anyway, yeah, City Slick. All these tabs I bring up as I look around at people on here. Yeah, I actually accidentally had the page for Mission Suite up on Discogs. So but it's basically the same. Okay, oh, a few differences since I had the wrong page up. It's John Lee and Gerry Brown, guitar and drums as before, and Chris Hinze, of course. But guitar is played by Philip Catherine. And we have a couple of keyboards credited here. We've got Jasper Van Hoff, interesting. Yeah, I've done one on him before. We've got three, actually. We've got Robert Jan Stips. And, grand piano, ARP Odyssey synthesizer. Yeah, that answers a lot. Jan Huydts. And also on Fender, Rob Van Den Broeck. And, yeah, as on the previous album. And, yeah, so there is actually a tangible connection between this and Association PC with Jasper Van Hoff on there. And so quite a few of these are people who were involved in this, or people I've done in previous segments. Yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from, well, these two Chris Hinze combination albums anyway, see the directory of albums by Dutch artists linked in the description below for Red Hot tracks and purples from the whole spectrum of 70s, 80s music from Benelux, the Netherlands, and Belgium. Yeah. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the track we just heard. The interplay, the counterpoint, the sections, the way things were just tossed about, the randomness, and how it contrasts with the more structured elements, yeah, and the power of it all. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.